Well, good afternoon. I'm Mike Register, the Director of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, and to my left is Assistant Director John Melvin, and to my right, Assistant Director Chris Hosey. I want to thank everyone for being here today for an update on an incident that occurred in Camden County on September 3rd of this year. As you may be aware, the GBI was asked this past Tuesday, November 15th, to investigate this incident by the Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney, Keith Higgins. I want to first thank Sheriff Proctor of Camden County and his staff for their full cooperation during this investigation. The incident in question occurred September 3rd and involved an inmate housed at the Camden County Detention Facility at that time. The inmate was Mr. Jarrett Hobbs. Mr. Hobbs was arrested on various charges in Camden County and then had a hold placed on him by federal authorities based on criminal activity federal law enforcement was investigating. During his detention at the Camden County facility, it was determined that because of Hobbs' behavior, he was to be removed from an isolation cell. During the contact between Hobbs and Camden County personnel, a struggle ensued, with Hobbs being struck multiple times by Camden County jail personnel. The incident was captured on an internal security video, and the actions portrayed by some members of the Camden County Sheriff's Office involved in the incident were the catalyst for DA Higgins to request an investigation. The GBI initiated this investigation into the incident and attempted to interview all involved parties. This included traveling to North Carolina to speak with Mr. Hobbs. Hobbs had been released from Camden County into custody September 30th. The GBI wanted to speak with Hobbs in person and travel to a correctional facility in North Carolina this past Friday and conducted an interview with him. The GBI then returned and consulted with the district attorney, and a decision was made to seek arrest warrants on Corporal Corrections Officer Mason Garrett, Deputy Ryan Beagle, and Deputy Braxton Massey. They were arrested earlier today. All were arrested for battery and violation of oath of office. Also, this investigation is still active, and the GBI will continue to work with DA Higgins on this matter. You know, there's a sacred and fragile trust that exists between law enforcement and the communities that we serve. This trust must be protected and preserved. Law enforcement personnel enter this profession for various reasons, but all are expected to ensure equitable justice and fairness for our citizens. I believe that the majority of men and women who wear a badge in this country truly seek to protect and serve. Unfortunately, some discredit the profession, the badge, and the oath they swore to uphold. This is why we're standing here today. The GBI will continue to serve our great law enforcement leaders and citizens across this state, and will always seek the facts that lead us to the truth. Thanks again to Sheriff Proctor, DA Higgins, and the members of the GBI team involved in this investigation. I hope our actions further strengthen the trust and partnership needed between law enforcement and the communities that we serve. Accountability is something that the community deserves, and our law enforcement leaders throughout the state demand from anyone who represents our profession. So we'll take a few questions.
So basically, I guess that at the end of the day, what you're saying, this is a totally unjustified use of force by these young employees.
It appears that there was probable cause to make an arrest on the actions of the personnel. Our investigation is still active, and our findings will be turned over to the district attorney's office.
What was your reaction on doing the video? I mean, what was your initial reaction? I mean, it's pretty.
Well, you know, as a citizen, my reaction was like anyone else. You know, it shocked the conscience. But I've also been in law enforcement long enough to understand that we have to stop, take a knee, and look at the facts and put everything into context.
Are you able to share any of the details as far as what Mr. Hobbs may have shared? I know you said that they responded because of his behavior, but then it went and crossed the line, and you had a chance to speak with him. What was his side of the story?
You know, it's an active investigation, and the responses that we got from Mr. Hobbs was included in the decision by the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the district attorney to seek arrest warrants on 3 of the individuals.
Forgive me, I'm running a little bit late, so I'm going to ask you a question that you may have already gone over. Did the jailers act inappropriately?
I think that's why we're standing here. When you look at the initial actions that transpired, I think our investigation thus far and the district attorney felt that it was probable cause to make an arrest on 3 of the individuals for battery and violation of oath of office.
Are these felonies, both charges are felonies on each of these?
Yes, sir.
deputies? And what about the 4th deputy? You said this investigation is ongoing. Is there a possibility of additional arrests, including the 4th deputy?
It's ongoing and it's fluid at this time, and we'll continue to investigate, and if other arrests are necessary, they will be made.
Did the deputies, I know you don't want to get into any details about what they might have told you, but did they offer an explanation or defense of their actions?
I can't comment on
They didn't confess?
No comment on that.
From what you've seen, the level of the beating that took place, how brutal was this beating?
All I can tell you is that the actions that we've seen in the video are being investigated, and obviously a decision has been made to arrest the individuals, and the investigation still remains fluid.
There were some papers entered, I don't know which court, that alleged that Mr. Hobbs actually hit some of the deputies. Were you able to get that verified through your interviews or through observation of the video?
Not going to comment on that at this time.
Okay.
There'll be a full rendering with the final investigation and
Who will
the
handle the
DA.
prosecution at this point? Will it be local authorities?
DA Higgins from Brunswick Judicial Circuit is who we're dealing with, and will be the prosecuting arm of this.
And what was your reaction when you first saw this video?
That was the previous question, and I said, just like any other citizen, it shocks the conscience. But I've also been in law enforcement long enough to know that with any incident, we have to take a knee and get all the facts and try to put things into context.
Thank you, Director.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.